Over the past decade, credit to the real estate sector in Korea has steadily increased, reaching about half of total private credit by the end of 2024. The problem is that the real estate sector has the highest loan concentration of all industries, yet generates relatively low value added. When limited financial resources are excessively concentrated in the real estate sector, credit growth for other high value added industries slows, which can undermine medium to long-term growth. In fact, analysis of the relationship between private credit and economic growth shows that when credit expansion is centered on real estate, the growth contribution of private credit becomes increasingly constrained. Moreover, when credit is heavily concentrated in real estate, a sharp drop in real estate prices can restrict credit supply by financial institutions. Deleveraging then reduces consumption and investment, and the resulting economic downturn feeds back into credit markets, potentially triggering risks to the financial system. If financial institutions remain complacent with continued expansion of real estate credit and neglect efforts toward business diversification and financial innovation, the long-term competitiveness of Korea's financial industry could be weakened. Why has credit become so heavily concentrated in the real estate sector? We can look at three main factors: demand side, supply side, and regulatory. First, rising housing prices in the Seoul metropolitan area boosted demand for home purchases using leverage. With the real estate market remaining strong for an extended period, the number of related businesses also increased significantly. In particular, Korean banks, which rely heavily on interest income, have focused on housing-related loans with relatively low delinquency rates and high recoverability through guarantees. This has been another major driver of the increase in real estate credit. Housing-related policy finance has also expanded rapidly, both through direct support via loans and indirect support via guarantees, contributing further to the increase in real estate credit. Most importantly, under the Basel Capital Regulation Framework, risk weights for real estate-backed loans are set significantly lower than those for general corporate loans. This has strengthened banks' incentives to expand real estate lending. How can we ease the concentration of financial institution credit in real estate and redirect funding toward more productive corporate sectors? In the short term, the scope of exemptions from the DSR regulation should be gradually reduced to enhance its effectiveness, while the scale of household policy finance needs to be managed with a more appropriate level. These measures will help establish a consistent lending regulation framework based on borrowers' repayment capacity. In the medium to long term, capital regulations should be adjusted by raising the risk weights on real estate loans and lowering those on productive SME lending. Such measures would reduce banks' incentives to expand real estate credit while providing stronger incentives for lending to more productive sectors. In addition, the structure of household housing finance should shift from debt-based home purchases toward equity-based investment vehicles such as REITs, thereby reducing reliance on loans in housing finance. It is now essential to restructure the credit supply system for housing finance so that the core function of financial intermediation can operate more effectively.